So I know that you guys made a huge splash with your fundraising announcement. What's happened since then with Story?
Yeah, I think the fundraising announcement went really well. To be honest, as a builder, what excites me the most are...
Welcome to Palo Alto. Why the move?
Thanks, Shay. So we are actually here at the grand opening of our Palo Alto office, and it's just a few blocks from Stanford at the heart of Silicon Valley. You know, when building a blockchain company in the US, I think the two places that people think about are New York and San Francisco. I feel very strongly that the Bay Area in Silicon Valley is the only place to build a major business. From what I've seen, if you're in New York, yes, there's a lot of crypto people there. But if you're in New York, your product is probably Twitter posts. If you want to build real tech, you have to be on Silicon Valley. And it's not just in blockchain. If you look at what New York's produced in terms of startups, they've only produced 2 decacorns in the entire history of New York, despite all the people there, all the founders, all the investors. It's Datadog and Etsy, I believe. Here in the Bay, I mean, you can count, probably you need 2 hands to count the number of trillion-dollar companies that have been created in the Bay Area. So for us to be at the center of it all here in Palo Alto, just blocks away from you and the Stanford blockchain guys, from incredible professors like Dan Boneh, who's here at the opening, and also just to be at the heart of AI, right? Like, I think that's the real differentiator for the Bay. Is not just the technology, but the heart of AI. And so much of our applications and technology is focused on serving AI apps. If you want to build real tech, you have to be on Silicon Valley.
So I know that you guys made a huge splash with your fundraising announcement. What's happened since then with Story?
Yeah, I think the fundraising announcement went really well. To be honest, as a builder, what excites me the most are product announcements. So in the past couple months, we've had a lot of achievements. We've shipped 2 testnets. We have Iliad live. There's over 5 million transactions a day, around 16 million unique wallets. And then we're just weeks away from shipping our last and final testnet, which is the Odyssey testnet. And that's going to be our final testnet leading up to mainnet. So we are all heads down building here in Palo Alto as we drive towards the mainnet launch. It's actually building this entire ecosystem of applications that are doing things that they couldn't do without Story. And to be honest, I guarantee you that many of the apps on Story, the ones I'm most excited about, cannot be done on any other blockchain, because we're building this purpose-built layer 1, and these apps are leveraging our IP primitives to do things that they just can't do anywhere else.
That's amazing. So what are some of the ecosystems and ecosystem apps that you're like most impressed by? What are some of your favorites?
Yeah, absolutely. So a few different ones. So one of them is a large foundation model company that we're working with. And you can count the number of foundation model companies probably on one hand, and we're able to work with one of them. So I can't announce which one it is right now, but they are a foundation model company that has had millions and millions of model downloads. And we are the first blockchain partner that they're working with because, as you know, IP is one of the biggest problems in AI, and we're doing something new, right? So it's not just decentralizing something that already exists, it's actually providing something that only blockchain can provide, which is this IP monetization layer. So really excited to announce that partnership soon. What I would say is real potential Midjourney killer is very exciting. They actually just raised seed rounds from one of the biggest AI investors in the Valley, pioneering a new paradigm for how image generation works. So the current paradigm is basically you have text as input, it's a prompt, and then you output an image. What this project is doing is redefining that text to image paradigm and actually creating a search first generation paradigm, which basically means people can find any image they want, and then they can use the image as a prompt rather than using text. Being able to create new images by remixing original images is going to be really powerful, and this app is using Story as the underlying IP layer. And then, of course, we have some really powerful IP-Fi apps as well, kind of pioneering how staking works on Story and allowing people to stake IP and other tokens on IP assets to verify their legitimacy. So basically using economic primitives to create new mechanisms around IP.
Right.
So lots of different projects, I think mostly in AI and sort of this IP-Fi, DeFi intersection.
What do you think about this idea of social remixing and the remixing of content?
Yeah, well, I mean, ultimately, I think that all content is basically a derivative, right? If you think about what's happening now, you have 2 really groundbreaking technologies. One has been around for a while, is social media. The other is kind of emerging, which is generative AI. Everyone has global distribution through social media, so internet velocity of content is extremely high. Anyone can create and contribute to content through generative AI. So we have this Hollywood studio in our bedrooms. Anyone can create, receive, consume content at lightning speed, and then also build on top of it. And so what we're trying to do is basically be the backbone for all of that remixing, all of that contribution. There's going to be a lot of new forms of content that are bottoms up and look a little bit more like open source code, monolithic studio producing content. It's going to be sort of a bi-directional path where consumers and creators are working together.
That's amazing. Super excited to looking at the future of Story.